From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. A gathering storm over the south-central U.S. will bring some heavy rain and the risk of some urban flooding to parts of the Midwest, the Appalachians, and the Atlantic seaboard from this weekend into early next week. AccuWeather meteorologists also warned that just enough cold air will be around on the front end of this storm to produce a glaze of ice in some areas. Soon after one storm triggers severe weather and downpours over parts of the south-central states on Friday, a second storm will spring up and roll northeastward while tapping into a stream of Gulf of Mexico moisture beginning this weekend. Rain will arrive again over the south-central states and expand from the lower Mississippi Valley to the Tennessee and Ohio valleys, southern and central Appalachians, and the Great Lakes region Saturday through Sunday. About 1 to 2 inches of rain will fall over much of this zone, but there will also be a substantial area where as much as 4 inches will fall, with locally higher amounts between 6 and 8 inches. Now, much of that rain may fall during a 4 to 8 hour period, which is enough to push small streams up to bank full and potentially trigger some small stream flooding. At the very least, significant and rapid runoff on the streets and along secondary rural roads will lead to flooding. In mountainous areas, there can be some debris that gets washed onto the roads. As the storm continues to move along, the ribbon of moisture containing the heavy rain will pivot from the Appalachians to the middle and southern Atlantic coast and New England from Sunday to early Monday. Now, the heaviest rain along much of I-95 is likely to be through Sunday. During that time, poor visibility, downpours, and urban flooding will lead to substantial travel delays. Shifting travel time to before or after the storm leaves may be a better option if that's possible. From Saturday night into Sunday morning, the icy zone may extend from the northeastern corner of New York to the northern parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, and much of Maine. Milder air with plain rain will reach all the way to the Canadian border. That means that, aside from some icy conditions for a time, the snow on the ski slopes over the northern Appalachians will tend to get soft and slushy in many cases. Even a thin glaze of ice that is patchy and not widespread can be dangerous for motorists and pedestrians. Surfaces may appear wet, but can have a thin sheet of clear ice instead. Ice of this nature can form even where air temperatures are a bit above the freezing mark. Long nights and moist air are the perfect ingredients for fog in the wintertime. The fog can be especially dense as a storm is moving in over snow cover or even just cold ground. As the storm pivots, two types of fog can occur. One will be a low-level fog near the ground, and the other will be associated with low clouds that can obscure ridges and make for poor visibility for motorists on the highways and for aircraft as they attempt landings and takeoffs. The intensity of the storm will be great enough to produce gusty and locally severe thunderstorms from the central Gulf Coast to the Tennessee Valley on Saturday, and then the southern Atlantic seaboard on Sunday. Now, a couple of tornadoes may occur in the strongest storms, with the most widespread threats being strong wind gusts and some flash flooding. Soon after the big rainstorm leaves the region, a trailing storm could tap into that cold air to bring accumulating snow to parts of the interior northeast next Tuesday and possibly for New Year's Day. At this time, the storm is likely to deliver rain to the coast, including the major I-95 cities of the northeast, with the potential for snow farther inland. However, a shift in the storm track could change which areas get rain and which areas get blanketed by snow. A potential third storm could have colder air to work with near the coast, and from late next week to the first weekend of 2025, a portion of the I-95 corridor and some interior locations will need to be watched for some wintry trouble. That's all for now. You can find more stories and regional forecasts at AccuWeather.com, and for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll be back tomorrow with more from AccuWeather.